Hey guys, this is Goku, and on this channel we talk about poker and ideas that can improve your life. Today we're gonna do another video on the GTO Trainer. Last time we had a terrible session. I think we ran 100 BBs below EV. And hopefully this time we can recoup some losses and get our overall EV loss rate down. So let's get right into it. Pocket threes on a 5-jack-5 with 2 hearts is a bet 5. Nope, it is not a bet 5. It's a bet 2. 67% of the time. Now an ace falls and the villain leads for 5.5 big blind. Is that a call? Or is that a fold? I think it's a call since we have a heart. Yeah. And our heart falls on the river. And should we be betting here? Or should we be checking behind? I think we should be checking behind. Yeah, it's a check behind and we lose to pocket sixes. Okay, ace 5 on ace 7-5 with 2 hearts. I think it's a bet 5. It is actually a check. I was gonna say I kind of feel like it could be a check, but bet 5 is played 12% of the time, so I assume bet 2 is the most utilized play, but the ideal action is a check, which is interesting. 4-5 on a 6-jack-king with all hearts. We're gonna check, and bet 2 is the ideal play. Now a 7 of spades falls on the turn. Well, since we checked then, maybe we should bet now, but we're gonna check again. Now bet 4.5 is the ideal play. But still we checked and now a deuce falls. I think we're giving up on the hand. We checked all streets, so don't see why. Don't see no reason for betting, but as we can see, it's actually a huge EV loss giving up on the hand here on the river. And even betting 3, betting half pot. I mean, betting half pot is the ideal action, but betting anything is the correct play. I mean, we would have gotten called, but yeah, actually, I get why it makes sense to bet here, because I mean we're losing. We have no showdown value. So yeah, that's why we gotta bet. 9 jack on a 7-6 jack rainbow. Could that be a bet 5? It's a bet 2. Bet 5 is played 24% of the time. Now a king falls on the turn. Do we continue betting? Do we bet 3/4 here? Or do we check? I think we check actually. Yeah. Great, and now a king on the river. Should we bet half pot? I think we should. Yeah, half pot is 41% of the time. Check behind is the ideal play 58% of the time. And we lost to a better jack. But the EV loss on betting is 0. Pocket fours on 5-9 jack. I think it's a bet 2 or bet 5. I'd like to bet 5 But like I had two similar spots already this session and they were all bet 2. Okay, it's a check. It is a check, and bet 2 is only played 5% of the time. Now the villain bet 7 and we're gonna fold. And it is a call. How is that a call? Interesting. But we fold also 17% of the time, so it's not that bad. But it's interesting. King Jack on a 4-9 Jack. That's a bet 5? Yeah. That is a bet 5. 10 Jack on a King 6-4. That's a bet 2. Yes. We get called. 7 of hearts. False. We're either checking or we're betting 7. I think we're checking because we're not checking enough, and yeah, it is actually a check. It is so weird. I always want to bet it in this spot, and it's almost like I'm only checking because I know that I need to be checking or calling more. And it's when it turns out that is the correct play and it's 99% of the strategy, it just boggles my mind. But okay, then Jack falls and the villain bet 7. We're calling for sure. Are we raising here? Maybe it's actually a good spot to raise. Certainly seems so. Because we lose to a king. But raising makes it look like we have a King Jack. But we check the turn, so I guess it's not the best play. Yeah, to check raise, to raise, I mean. If we bet the turn, then I guess it makes sense to raise it. But yeah. Ace King on a 4-7-5 rainbow. Villain bets out. Do we call? Do we raise? Maybe this is a spot where we raise. Oh, we're gonna call, of course. Yeah, it's a 96% call. Now a 9 of spades falls on the turn. The hero leads for third of the pot. Is it okay to fold the ace king here? Or should we still call? I think we should still call, right? Yep. And now a jack of spades falls on the river and the villain bets like, I don't know, 65% of the pot. Do we raise it here? Or do we fold? I assume we fold, but how often should we raise it here? I'd love to know the answer to this question. But I'm gonna fold. And it is actually a raise all in. So strange. So strange. Fold is 44% of the strategy, but is a slight EV loss. And raise all in is also 43%. So 13% we raise to 30. Yeah, I for sure don't have this kind of play in my arsenal, and I should. Yeah, good to know. Let's take another one. Ace 9 off. Queen 5-6. Rainbow. Assume we're betting 2. Yeah. We are. The villain calls. Another queen falls on the turn. I think we're betting 7 here. Yep. 61% of the time. Villain calls again. And there's a 4 of spades on the river. And do we check for showdown value? Do we bet 3/4? Do we overbet? It's actually very interesting. I think we're checking behind like at least 50% of the time. And maybe we should, because we need more checks. Okay, so we're checking behind 99% of the time. So my instinct to bet here is dead wrong. It is just dead wrong. I gotta really drill it down. Because, yeah, it's a check behind. There's no more to it. There's nothing more to it. Okay, move on. 10 jack off on a king a3. It's a bet 2. We get raised to end 8.5. I think we should call this. Because 9 or a queen gives us an open ender, I guess. But it is a fold. Okay, it is a fold 94% of the time. We call 4.6%. But we called nonetheless, and now the villain checks to us. And it's another 3 on the turn. Are we checking behind, or are we taking initiative here? I think we're checking behind. You know, a queen falls on the river. Are we gonna bet at this? Yes, we are, because we can't win if we don't bet. And I think overbet here is our only option, right? It is. And I guess 3/4 was the rest of the strategy. Okay. 8-6 of clubs on an ace-10 jack. Is this a hand that we check behind? Nope, it's a hand that we bet 5 with 92% of the time. We only check behind 6%. Interesting. But we check behind and the hero checks. So maybe now we're gonna overbet it. Okay, we're overbetting it. It's a 0 EV loss play, 19% of the strategy, but the ideal action is betting 3/4. Played 33% of the time. Okay, the villain folded. We have ace-10 off on a tray queen 6 with 2 hearts. We're betting 2. I guess we're betting 2 or checking. Or are we betting 5 here often as well? I don't think so. A king of spades falls on the turn. And are we going to check now? Or bet 7? I'm gonna check because I know we need to get our checks up. But it is actually an overbet spot. Wow. It was an overbet kind of spot. But checking behind is 20% of the strategy, so not that bad, and almost no EV loss. And now on a deuce of spades, the villain leads for 2.5 BBs. Are we calling this? Are we raising this? Or are we folding? Guess we're gonna try and raise. Okay, we should be folding 46% of the time. Raise to 11 is a little part of the strategy, but a bad play. I wonder if calling here is a big part of the strategy or not. Queen jack off on a 5-9-6 with 2 spades. I wonder if we're checking this. It's a bet 2. Check is 17%. Now an ace falls on the turn. I'm gonna bet 2 here. Should be a check. Check would be ideal. Play 10% of the time. The bet 2 is played 77% of the time. And now we catch a queen of spades on the river and the villain leads for 7 BBs. Now can we fold this? I don't think we can, right? We checked on the flop, we bet 2 on the turn, and now the villain leads for 7 BBs. He's got the flush, right? On 2 pair. Yeah, but I think we can fold a queen here. Yeah. 90% of the time, we should call. Okay, we lose to a flush, unfortunately. Pocket nines on a 10 king tray with 2 spades. Is that a bet 5? It's a check 99.6% of the time. Okay. Cool. Queen of clubs on the turn. We're checking. And 8 of hearts on the river. We're calling because it's just quarter of the pot, but we're losing. 3-5 of diamonds on an A6-7. That's gotta be a bet 5, right? It's a bet 2. But bet 5 is also 19% of the strategy, so not bad. We hit a 3 on the turn, so we picked up some equity. I think I'm gonna bet 11 on or over bet. I think I'm gonna bet 11. Yay, it is an ideal action. Cool. And now a 6 falls on the river. And are we over betting this or betting 3/4? I'm gonna over bet. And it should be a check behind 99.7%. Oh my god. We are so far off. 99.7% we're checking behind here. I feel like if we check, we're surely losing the pot. We gotta bet to win, but the solver says it's a check, so I need to get it into my head. Well, this I'm gonna check. Yay! It is a check. Cool. Ace on the turn. We're calling. Yep. An 8 of hearts on the river, and we're calling again. whilst we should be folding, but calling is a third of the strategy and 0 EV loss. So not a bad play, not a terrible play. Jack Queen of spades on a 4-4 ace. I assume we bet 2. Yep. 10 Jack off on a 7 Queen 4 or rainbow. We're betting 2. Yes. The villain calls. 5 of diamonds on the turn. We're checking. Yes. And 6 of diamonds on the river. Villain checks. We're gonna bet 5 or 8. We're gonna bet 8. Yes. Betting 8 is the ideal action, but we still lose to the villain calling with King 7. Interesting call, but a call nonetheless. With 8 Jack of spades, we're betting 2 on an ace 10-6. And the ideal action is actually checking, and it's played 15% of the time. So we're betting 5 80% of the time. What? Kinda strange. We pick up a 7 on the turn. Does that mean we should bet now? I'm gonna bet 3.5. Check is the ideal play, but 3.5 is part of the strategy as well, and we actually pick up the pot, so not bad. Pocket 9s on ace 8-4. We're betting 2. We're getting raised to 8.5. We're calling it off. Yep, all good here. 8 of spades falls on the turn. We're gonna check. All good here again. And 4 of hearts on the river. And the villain overbets the pot. Now what do we do here with pocket 9s? I think we fold here. Yes, we do. Great. 5-7 of hearts on a 7-10 ace. We're gonna bet 2. It is a bet 5. 74% of the time. Okay. Pocket jacks on 5-10-8 with 2 spades. Is that a bet 5? It is. Cool. Get called. 10 of clubs on the turn. And the villain bets 5.5 big blinds. Should we call or raise? I'm gonna call. Yep. And another 10 on the river, and the villain now overbets the pot. We're calling it off. And unfortunately we lose. And what is more interesting, the ideal action is a fold here. 68% of the time. So 2 out of 3 times we should be folding here, and we should be calling just 1 out of 3. That is really interesting. I think I'm calling here at least 2/3 of the time. 8 jack of spades on a 7-9 ace. Is that a bet 2 or bet 5? That's a bet 2. Cool. King jack off on a 7-4 tray. Is that a check? Yes, that's a check. Awesome. 5 falls and he bets 8. We're folding. Yep. Queen jack on a 6-9 queen. Is that a bet 5? It is. Perfect. And that's our last hand. Ace queen off on a 4 tray 9. We're gonna bet 2. Okay, it's the ideal action. We got called. 10 of spades falls on the turn now. We are going to check. Okay. And weirdly enough, the solver overbets here on the 7, on the 10, but we check behind, and now a 7 falls. Hero checks. We're gonna check for showdown value. Yep, and we lose to king 3 of spades. Awesome. Let's end the session. Very nice. We actually did just one more betting or raising here than the GTO. We just did one more call than the GTO, and we did 2 less folds. So really good session. EV loss is minus 20, so not that bad. It's pretty good actually. I think only this 4-5 hand, it hurt us pretty much. But and this ace king was a bigger EV loss. But other than that, we did great. So that's good. Let me just see the overall stats. The overall stats, well, they decreased a little bit. We're only on minus 45 big blinds right now. So yeah, just need to keep doing sessions like this one, minus 20, minus 10, and not many more sessions like this minus 100. Wow, we even had minus 125 before. So yeah, thanks for watching. If you enjoyed watching this video, please leave a thumbs up. Subscribe to this channel to see more videos like this. I'm playing the GTO Trainer every day right now, so there's going to be a lot more of these videos coming up. If you want to leave a comment below and let me know what you think of these hands, please do so. I'll be happy to answer any questions you might have in the comments below. If you want to check out this WPT GTO Trainer yourself, there's going to be a link in the description as well. It's a really great tool. I gotta tell you, I love it, and I hope, I'm sure I'm gonna learn a lot from this, but I hope I can get this overall EV loss on those cutoff open versus big blind call spots down to like minus 20 or minus 15 by the time I'm done with this spot. But we're gonna see. We've only played 184 hands for now, and there's gonna be a lot more coming up, so check them out, and I will see you in the next one. Bye.